The submarine, an iconic piece of any advanced Navy's fleet. Also an icon on the big screen, from The Hunt for Red October.
Steer right, 315.
Wait a minute, that's heading into the torpedo.
Steady bearing still, 315.
Estimate range 6,000 yards.
To Crimson Tide.
Captain, I relieve you of your command of this ship. Cobb, escort the captain to his stateroom. I'm assuming command.
You're not assuming anything.
Chief of the boat, Captain Ramsey's under arrest. Lock him in his stateroom.
And even the ill-fated down periscope.
Have you any last words before you walk the plank, sir?
You can't do this, you maniac! This is the modern Navy! People don't walk the plank!
Captain Blood, consign him to the briny deep!
Okay, admittedly not so iconic for Kelsey Grammer. For Hollywood, it's easy enough to play at high stakes on the high seas, but for those charged with making real-world decisions, with lives potentially at stake, there's nothing fictional about it. That's one reason why military leadership around the world is investing in the next evolution in underwater deterrence. Meet the Orca. While it does share the same name as a low-budget 1977 thriller, which terrified me as a child.
What in hell are you?
Man and Orca.
The similarities, thankfully, end there. This autonomous modular platform, built by Boeing for the United States Navy, is a first-of-its-kind vehicle capable of serving in a wide range of mission types in the open water. On its own, the Orca checks in at 51 feet long. When outfitted with Boeing's largest payload section, which is 34 feet on its own, the Orca can stretch out to 85 feet. Powered by a diesel-electric engine, the Orca can travel a little more than 7,400 miles on a full tank. To put that into perspective, that's half the circumference of the Earth, making it possible to travel from one side of the planet to the other without the need to resupply or carry life support systems. Technically known as an extra-large uncrewed undersea vehicle, or XLUUV, the Navy made an initial buy of 4 in 2019, before eventually bumping the order up to 6.
The Navy added a 6th vehicle to that contract as a test article, which has been really great because we were able to get that vehicle into the water over a year ago and be able to really start seeing how it's performing, learning about, the different hardware and software that's in that vehicle, and putting it through its paces operationally before we deliver the vehicles that'll get fielded to the fleet.
Those vehicles represent a potential expanded array of strategic and tactical options for a service that's turning more and more of its attention to possible threats in the Pacific, aka China. Ann Stevens, Boeing's Vice President of Maritime and Intelligence Systems, says the Orca will allow the Navy to carry out previously unattainable missions and change the game when it comes to undersea warfare.
What are the capability gaps that are still elusive to them? And do we see the potential for this technology to expand to, a vehicle that doesn't require a host ship, a vehicle that can go, 6,500 nautical miles and traverse the ocean?
While the hardware of the Orca is well on its way to proving its worth and the type of work it can perform, Army Intelligence Officer John Molick tells us it's the autonomous piece of the puzzle that will likely make it an integral piece of the Navy's battle plan for future conflicts.
What we need to continue to work on is these vehicles being able to do things like conduct a cyber attack or cyber defense at the same time as communicating with the joint fires environment and the GPS and navigation environment. All of these things have to happen in concert, and that's again a challenge to do when it's fully autonomous. But I suspect that the Navy, as well as the other services, will get this done in the next few years.
The Orca also represents the ability to fill areas of need for a branch struggling to modernize and stay in front of potential adversaries.
You can see in the news the challenges that we're facing, building the next ballistic class of submarine, the Columbia, trying to build, enough Virginia-class submarines, and looking at our near-peer threats and the gap that is there. And I feel like this is just a great capability to help complement that gap that we're seeing right now.
Of course, the US isn't the only country working to develop XLUUVs. Last November, a team of British engineers successfully demonstrated an autonomous submarine of their own. Built by BAE Systems and called the Hearn, it's already completed the first set of in-water trials and demonstrations. Back on this side of the pond, Boeing expects to deliver the first Orca to the Navy in early 2025. Then the Navy has some more testing to do, which will last through the fall. Then there's the crew certifications with the Orca's handlers. And then finally, after that, the first Orca should be ready to sail for the Navy.